Not everyone appreciated the ReJewvenator singing the Israeli national anthem after the Hamas terror attacks of October 7th, so I want to say a few words. I felt it was important to grieve with my extended Jewish family and to affirm Israel's right to exist, especially because many critics of Israel seemed so indifferent about the brutal murder of Jews. Even worse, some who I think of as allies on other important issues were actually celebrating the attacks as if they were somehow a victory for the Palestinian people or a well-deserved punishment for Israelis. I can't tell you how hurtful that feels and scary. Despite my privileged position growing up as a white male in the South, I also grew up in the shadow of the Holocaust, never fully trusting that it was safe to be a Jew, feeling like I had to downplay my Jewish heritage in order to be liked. It's only recently that I realized how much those fears undermine my confidence and how important it is to be out about my Jewish heritage and to find joy in it. It's why I started this whole ReJewvenator thing. So I sang the Hatikva. It's a mournful song that expresses Jewish historical pain and commitment to a Jewish homeland. That doesn't mean that I'm not critical of Israel. It doesn't mean that I don't also grieve for Palestinians and the harm that Israel has done to them, or that I don't affirm their equally legitimate right to self-determination in their homeland. In that moment, however, I didn't feel, right after the Hamas attacks, I wasn't feeling moved to express the pro-Palestinian side, but it is there. I think it has to be there. For any hope of reconciliation, each side has to get beyond the suffering of its own people and understand and truly care about the suffering of the other. Unfortunately, this is just incredibly hard to do, especially for traumatized peoples who live under real threat, who keep doing terrible things to each other, and who have so many reasons for fearing and even hating each other. It's worth bearing this in mind if you find yourself stridently condemning one side or the other. Without meaning to, you're probably dehumanizing people, which actually perpetuates the same patterns that keep everyone defensive and entrenched in their positions. It's easier to find compassion if you try to understand the context, the history, the psychology on all sides from their perspectives. And you won't get that if you just watch a few videos on social media. What, Heidi? This is a video on social media. Right, and I don't even like doing it. So I'm going to try to not say a lot more about the conflict and instead get back to the ReJewvenator's core duties, musically celebrating Jewish American culture and our shared humanity with other cultures, poking some fun, softening some tribalism, and connecting with you, Rejuvenation. And now we return to our regularly scheduled programming.